Hello. Blah. Hi. Thanks for stopping by, Waxy, aka Alexis. Um, yeah, give me just a moment to finish sorting myself out, and then, yeah. I honestly don't know what world I was gonna stream in, but I kind of have been looking for one, so give me just a moment. Oh, that's trippy. I'm looking at myself. Whoa, I lost my balance. um, yeah, no, I'm looking at myself in this world. It's always weird to kind of like see how we move from the third party. Like, I know there's mirrors and stuff, but like to see it from this kind of perspective is a bit strange. Wouldn't you think? Anyway. Oh. Let's be smart and be streamer E. Camera mode, stream. Um. Oops. Hi. I'm here. It's really pretty here, though. I do like all the blue. I don't know how I feel about the world as a whole, though. It's very... well, maybe there's more. Not really. It's very small, very claustrophobic, and dark. But yeah, I don't know. I need cute world suggestions, I suppose. Um... So yeah, I've just been looking for somewhere cute to be, I guess, for the time being. Oops. But, I also need to make it so chat shows in my FOV because I'm stupid and didn't do that. So I don't have to keep opening my overlay. Ever have just some thoughts and they just are so loud and they won't stop? It's currently me, unfortunately. Okay, I think that's set up properly. Oh wait, I think I have another way I could do this. I don't need this thing. I can be smart. Apologies that I'm just not prepared. I am struggling. So if I do that, And then you do at. That's not how I wanted it to work. I guess I could just float this in the world somewhere so I can just always see it. I think that's as good as it's gonna get, honestly. Okay, so yeah, my voice is fucked. I sound like utter shit. But I'm here, and that's the important thing, right? That I'm actually here. And then I need to go. That's a bit better. Yeah, I don't really have anything specific I was gonna do. I just wanted to kind of find a way to kind of force myself to be alive online, you know? And not like skip my own stream again. Um, I'd be lying if I said that I'm okay. So I have some very mixed feelings about how I am right now. But you know, what can you do? I really, I regret putting certified yapper down. Because I'm like, in my head, I'm like, huh, what the fuck do I even talk about? I have nothing I want to talk about right now. I just kind of wanted to see if people have something they want to talk about, I guess. And that's hard. It's hard to kind of force myself to talk. And maybe I would have a better time with that if I had one ear unplugged so I can hear myself. Let's see. What is another decent world that's not dark as fuck? Hello, Live Love Booba. How are you doing today? Hopefully my mic sounds okay at the very least, so do let me know if I sound bad. Yeah, how are you doing, dude? I hope you're doing well. Liv, do you know any good worlds for stream? Any nice places to be on stream? Any funny worlds? Or not funny, pretty. Yeah, my voice is showing up, so I'm just a little quiet. Maybe that'll be a bit better. Yeah, fuck, dude. I don't know where to go. I am stupid. Oh? Why has today been crazy, though? Do tell, do tell. And while you're telling me, I'll be looking through my menu for a moment, trying to find a nice world to go to. It's the rat rubber worm. I mean, yeah, that's a lot of people's favorite, right? Just 'cause funny. Haha. They locked me in a rubber room with rats. The rats made me crazy. Rats? The rats made me crazy. They locked me in a rubber room full of rats. Oh, fuck, dude. I can't even remember the nice worlds that I used to go to. This is hard. I need to... figure something out. Oh no, you got caught in 4K. What did you do though? What did you do that got you caught in 4K? Because you normally get caught in 4K. If we're real. Damn it, what's that world called? The one that has like a well and like a waterfall. Damn it, I'm crazy. I'm losing it. I'm actually losing my mind. I can't remember shit right now. I'm kinda mad. Because in my head, this is obvious. Is it at the Moonlit House? Sovereign's Chill Home? No. Moonlight Wanderings. I think that's right. You getting caught in 4K all the time. You asked me to do a mommy voice. Like, what? If I was a bigger streamer, more people would know. Yeah. I mean, Liv, let's be real. If I was a bigger streamer, that would have been clipped and you would have been like posted everywhere. People would have been like, oh my god, that chatter, we recognize them. They're the one that's always like in everyone's chats. Huh, they really like mommy content, don't they? That's what'll happen to you. I feel so big. Oh god, this world is bad. You could see through my hair. Well, yep, that's... Yep, that's great. I love that. That's a 10 out of 10. I love the fog overriding my transparency. Alright, where's post-processing? Where is the world menu? Alright, post-processing. Let's turn off blue. Toggles? Horizon fog. Alright, moment of truth. Let's go back outside. Ah, and I'm fixed. Oops, too close. Hello. It's too far now. I don't know, I want to find a nice angle, but this is terribly hard. Terribly hard and nice angle kind of do go together. You wonder why I don't have a bigger viewer base? Because I am not a very good streamer. I mean, you are. You're pretty well known. I'd say most people in chats recognize you, and that alone is enough. You know, it's like, if you go into a chat and you see Liv, it's like, yeah, that makes sense. I mean, oops. It's just kind of what you expect to see. So it's like, of course. I match the background a little too well. I'm a little too blue. Maybe I should be something other than blue. You don't know me. Oh, you don't know Liv. I mean, that's fair. That's because you haven't been streaming VR chat. Alexis, if you stream VR chat, you'll know who Liv is. Liv is just there. They're always in people's chats. There's always a sign of Liv somewhere. And if you've never seen them before, then that's kind of on you. You know? You have yet to experience it. Exactly. Man, this is hard. I'm struggling right now because I'm like, how do I position myself and stuff? Here you go, Liv. Yeah, Alexa streams too, but they're VTuber at the moment. Yeah, you cannot escape the rats. That's tis a silly thought. Perish it immediately. Perish the thought. I also don't want the world music playing, so I gotta find that real quick. You guys wait here. I think you guys can still hear me while I do this, though, so you know. There we go. Okay, I think that should be fine. Yeah, I'm back. Hello. Look at that, you already have another lurker. I'll try to lurk tomorrow too. I'm not very aware of things, but you know, if I see you go live, I'll check it out for you. I don't think I'm following that. There you go. Oh, you have been clipped before? I don't doubt it. Let's see. I want my chair out of the way because I feel like I'm gonna trip. I'm gonna stand a little closer to here. And hopefully that means that I have better tracking now. But everything's over here now. Hup. And then I go like this. Okay, that should help. You're like a professional chatter. How do you not know how to clip? Like that's your thing. You're everywhere. Of course you know how to clip, right? You got an update on our commission? Oh, that's exciting. Did you commission like emotes? Is that what it is? Or what did you commission? What is the commission? Damn. Maybe I should. Fuck, dude. I don't even know. I was like, do I. Do I, play Spotify right now? But I shouldn't for you guys because you guys are probably listening to your own music or something else, and me yapping is just me yapping. So it's probably better, logically, for me just to yap, and then you can listen to your own Spotify or YouTube or whatever. My friend Dodo has requested an invite. I am currently streaming, so no, unfortunate. Um, Bruh, Discord worked for all of 2 seconds earlier. I reinstalled it to see if it would like change my icon and Discord to purple. So I was like, okay, I want my icon, my or my status to be live. I wanted it to go purple so that people would know I'm streaming. And you know what? It didn't. It was purple for all of 2 seconds. And I typed something and then it went back to green. And I went, I don't know what to do anymore. I'm gonna like full uninstall and reinstall it, I think. But you know, what can I do? What can anyone do? I really gotta figure this shit out better. In my head, I'm like, okay, if I'm streaming VR chat, I need to have my chat here. I need my camera here. And then I gotta have the actual camera here. So I'm trying to figure out the best angle to do this without making it look stupid. And also, I'm trying to figure out the best way to do my voice without being loud. So, like, that's hilarious. Why the fuck does it have a shape? But anyway, um, well, I hope your butt doesn't smile, because that's kind of creepy. But your you know, your ass is gonna enjoy the snack that smiles back. That's how it's gonna go. But no, that's not the point. Um, I feel so stupid talking. Like, my voice, again, it feels really weak, and I don't like the way I sound, and I'm trying my best to not sound horny. Like, the voice, you know, I'm not horny. However, you know how the voice goes. Like, when you get so whispery and you're just, like, trying too hard. So I'm, like, fighting this balance of not sounding very, like, mommy, right? So, fuck, dude. I'm struggling. Anyway, my brain is in like a lot of like darker places. You started vocal training last month, but keep getting sick and having a sore throat ever since. I want to get that horny sounding mommy voice. Listen. I mean, Liv, you haven't done the voice redeem, so I'm not gonna do it for you. Nope. Ain't gonna happen. No horny, like, voice for you. Well, like, no attempt at it, I should say, because, you know, I can't promise anything, but, yeah. I can't even, like, guarantee it's gonna sound good, so. Yeah, no, I'm kind of fucked in my head right now. Oh, you're real. This shit's, kicking my butt. But on the right side, my neck doesn't hurt. What if you do it? You'll be wasting 1,000 points, because there's a chance that I can't actually do it. Eyebrows, eyebrows. Raising eyebrows. Progressively more aggressively raising eyebrows, because I don't have face tracking. So what can I do, you know? Ooh, my tracking is really bad over here. It does not like me being in this corner of my room. I need to get face tracking. If I had face tracking, I'd be so much cuter, wouldn't I? But I have to get better at using my gestures until then, because I'm not paying $1,000 for a new headset. What if I'm baiting you? What if you're already baiting yourself? Huh? What if you're already doing exactly what you think you're doing? I can do a hand check. See, my hands are right here. I can raise my feet too, you know? You can't see them though. Oops. Okay, well, I fucked the camera, so. Well, no, I didn't fuck the camera. The camera got fucked. Wait. Anyway, point is, camera wonky now. Not centered. Uno reverse. I'm not baiting, you are. I don't want to touch it anymore because I feel like I keep fucking it up. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I don't care. The camera can be crooked. It won't bother me. It doesn't bother me, right? You know, it bothers other people. So it's not my problem. It's other people's problems. The camera is irrelevant. The camera has no feelings. The camera is stupid. I know. I know better. I know better than to, like, care about a camera's feelings. The camera has seen many things and has seen nothing all at the same time. Oh, that's wrong. Nope, that's also bad. I mean, you can save, or you can just redeem it. I don't know. You have the 1,000 points, it's your choice. But the rats will jam. Well, guess what, rats? There's no music here. What will you jam to? Tell me. Nothing. You have nothing. There's no music, there's no wiggles, there's nothing in the stream. You have come here for nothing. I am just here. I am just talking. I am just existing. I'm just distracting myself from the ever coming reality that in less than 30 days, I will be older and I will hate myself just that much more. Not because I am older, but because another month has passed that I am still here, existing. I'm sure. Yeah, I'm positive. I am absolutely positive. I'm 50 this year. Exactly. Don't dox my real age. People will unsubscribe. Or unfollow, I mean. Like, why would you do this to me? Do you want people to leave? Do you think that I'm undeserving of affection and love because I'm old? I mean, come on, guys. Don't you want me to be a successful big time streamer? Um Here, let me see if I can even do the voice for a moment. Am I too loud? Ew, hag maxing. Hello. Alright, this is as close to it as I think I can get. Hello, hello. Yeah, my voice is too fucked. I can't do it. So unfortunately, this is all you get. If I were to try to be like, Mommy. Oh, what's the matter? Have you been such a good boy? Shit's creepy as fuck when I do it. Ow, my ear. That fucking sucked. I just yanked on my headphones. My ears. Holy fucking shit. I shouldn't have done that. Let me just close this door a bit more too. Door is a bit more closed. Walking over here. Gonna grab a drink of my soda to rejuvenate my broken voice. You know, peak content as normal. I wish I was peak content. Let's be real, it's not. I wish I was a better streamer. I do. That I understood how to be content for people, that I understood how to, offer something of better substance. And the reality is, I don't. And I know I don't. And it's okay that I don't, right? You won't hate me if I'm a little bit, like, bad at this stuff, right? Right? I gotta get better at these, like, finger gestures. Grrr. Grrr. Why is finger gun? Like, what are these combinations? Like, I'm trying to see what works. So, pointy fingers. Good. Pointy open hand. This face. I don't understand my avatar's like face gestures. Maybe I should practice that one day. I do my best. Do I though? No, I appreciate it, Liv. I'm sorry. I'm a very self-deprecating person. I have a lot of, like I said before, I have a lot of things that make me the not great streamer, you know? Um, sure, there's ways that I could, like, alleviate that if I don't like it, right? And yeah, there's ways I could be better. And do I know how to do it? Nope. Do I want to study and watch other streamers all day and learn how they do their thing? No. I just want to hit go live and talk to people who are nice. Is that asking too much? I don't think so, but. Mm. I too prefer smaller streamers. I like the more intimate experience. I like talking to someone and them reading it and them responding to it. Right? Like, it feels good to have, like, a back and forth. But if chat's always moving and you have all these people spamming chat and trying to add a level of, like, fog and look at me, it doesn't feel good to be there because it's like, huh, what, what's the point in typing anything? It's just gonna fly by the screen. Streamer's not gonna see it. They're very rarely gonna see it. Oh, I can give you some head pats back. Thanks for trying to be nice to me. It's a very wasted endeavor, but nonetheless, thank you. I, yeah, I don't know. I wish I had done more to prioritize myself in the last year. And yeah, there's time now. It's just really unfortunate, sometimes when you're like, when you give and you give and you give, and then you get nothing in return. It's like, it is my own fault. It really is, because I hoped for something in return, right? And that's my own fault. And some people might tell me, no, it's their fault for taking advantage of you. It's their fault for casting you aside or not really valuing you. And they're not technically wrong, right? When someone uses you and just throws you away, it's not your fault someone throws you away. It's more, I should have known better, and I didn't want to believe that it would happen. And that was my own stupid fault. And every part of me is like, well, now that you know, you should just cut that person out of your life, right? Like, just nuke them. Nuke all form of connection with this person. And I don't want to. I'm scared of that. It's scary to cut people out of your life, isn't it? If they're people that you genuinely like. It's terrifying. Because the whole time you're thinking to yourself, maybe I'm making a mistake. Maybe they'll do better. Maybe they'll treat me better soon. Maybe if I keep telling them how much, like, their way of treating me hurts, they'll do better. It's a stupid dream. It's a really flawed way of hoping for something that might never change. And yeah, it's depressing to think that way, but depressing is all I know how to do these days. The hormones, bro. The hormones got me on this roller coaster. And these events have got me going on the same roller coaster twice, but backwards. So it's like, not only am I going like this, I'm coming back and doing it again, and then I'm on that ride. And every week I get back on that ride, and every week I'm let down because I expected it to be different. Is it the ride's fault? No, it's mine. It's my own fault for expecting something to change. Sorry, this is very depressing. I'm sorry you guys are listening to me be depressing. But what can I do? I only know how to talk about things that are on my mind until someone in chat gives me something else to talk about. And the only thing on my mind, on repeat, is this situation. Every connection stays with us, but whack, there are moments I've seen for me that always trying to support, even if it may seem like it's not worth something, reminds me to keep going and keep that connection. I suppose that's true. And that's great that you can do that. And you know, sometimes those feelings aren't paid back. And that's where it hurts. If a stranger's not nice to me and I'm nice to that stranger, I don't get mad at the stranger. I just move on with my day. But if a friend is just taking all the time, and they acknowledge that they're doing this, and they feel bad that they're doing this, but they don't do anything to make it better, it just starts to hurt, you know? Because then you start to wonder, is it me? Am I the problem? I don't know. I can only control me. I can only do things that I want. So, is it my fault that they're like that? Or is it their fault? Yes, they can take accountability, and yes, I should be smart enough to step away, but I don't want to. I'm afraid. I am a coward. And that's just how it'll be. It's okay though. It's okay to be afraid, and it's okay to let things happen, and it's okay to be sad. It's all about what do we do with that sadness? Do we use it to push us forward and create better things in life, or spread better or more joy? And that's what I'm trying to do with my life, right? Whenever I find myself sad and hurt and down and just living in this funk of like repeated heartbreak and sadness, ultimately, I try to pass on these experiences to others. and make other people feel better and find ways to get them to recognize patterns, things that aren't exactly healthy for them. I've been killing my time on the stupid Omegle site. Sometimes no matter how much you try whack, you're not your best. You. Wait. Sometimes no matter how much you try, you're not. Wait. Sometimes no matter how much you try whack, you're not your best you. You're not your best. You can't be redeemed. But what if you can use the shadows to help build communities? You said it yourself about me. What says you can't do the same? I don't know. I don't have confidence in myself. I have confidence in others. I believe in each of you. I believe in everybody. As long as you're not intentionally, like, sabotaging things and creating problems and doing things that you know are bad for you, then ultimately I believe anyone can do better. And that's a great thing. It doesn't mean that you're not special either. It just means that I believe, you know? I do believe. I really do wholeheartedly hope for the best for people. And I myself might not trust it for me. And it's practice what you preach moment when that happens. But I was just checking a Discord note. Anyway, I don't know what I was saying anymore. I lost my train of thought. Oh, I was talking about Omegle though. Alright, so let's just go back to that thought. So I was doing Omegle. I did my best to look slightly cute. Okay, not like sexy or anything. But I was wearing my hair partially down. You know, I had a ponytail with the bangs down. And like, you know, the hair just falling on my face so I would frame it. So I wanted to frame my face. And when I'm doing that, I get lots of people who ask me, are you a man or a woman? It's always the same. And whenever someone asks, are you a man or a woman? It can be for one of two reasons. Almost always just one of two. Reason one that you hope for is they're just trying to be respectful, right? They're just trying to ask you so they can ascertain whether or not they need to use male or female pronouns. So, or he, she, or she, her, or he, she, he, him, or she, her. In those situations, usually I just pause and I can kind of read it on their face. And I will generally just be like, well, you can call me what you prefer. Like, I do go by she, her, but at the same time, I respect it if that's not something you're comfortable with. And immediately I will usually get like the disgusted face. Because I'm like, I'm trans. I say that too. And then they go, ugh. And then they go next. And then there's the other ones who are just genuinely trying to be supportive or polite. And those ones are the ones I hope for. So I just tell people that. And some of them are like, you shouldn't, like, you know, throw in the last part where you tell them they can call you whatever. And I'm like, I'm not trying to. What's the term? Like, I'm not trying to push anything, because a lot of these people who are like this, who are very concerned with what's in your pants, they they're just looking to confirm their biases, right? And oftentimes, what ends up happening is, let's just say let's just assume like they think I'm an ugly woman at first. For like a split second, they're like, huh, that's kind of a weird looking woman. But then they're like, wait, is that a dude? And then when they do that, they're immediately challenged on their core beliefs, right? No, absolutely. But, so I just tell them all the same thing, but yeah, so their core belief is now challenged. They are now of the mindset that I tricked them, or my goal is to trick them, and that makes them angry. Because for a split second, even if it's just for one moment, they believed that I am a woman. And that's something that they don't want to believe. Or they believe that there's something feminine about me, which again is something that they don't want to acknowledge. So they do their best to try to attack. Because I've had a few where they're like, why? Just tell me why. Like they're very upset, they're very clearly annoyed, and then they wanted to see if I would preach trans rhetoric to them. And vice versa, they would want to preach, the opposite, the gender norm rhetoric of like, you're only born a man or a woman. Anyway, but that's not to say that's my only experience. That's a vast majority of short experiences, like click, 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 and those last all of like 2 to 5 seconds. Um, I had a conversation with an Indian gentleman though, and he was living in the Netherlands. And he was very excited to have a conversation with someone because most people were just trolls and the usual. And during this conversation, he was very happy, like elated. Like there were moments of just pure, like, whimsy on his face because he loves the philosophical conversation that we're having. And that's great. I love to oblige. I'm very much the kind of person where I will talk to you about anything to the best of my ability, or I will listen to you talk about whatever it is you love to the best of your ability. I don't mind either way. I've done it many times in the roleplay servers. When I'm a therapist, I've listened to people talk about their characters, and I don't enjoy it all the time, but at the same time, I'm happy to view views. And that's a horrible mindset, for the record. But he's talking about things how, like, a lot of like, there's some Muslim people who are very anti Hinduism. Like they just like start calling him like names and making Indian jokes, and he was getting frustrated and actually worked up about it. And I was like, well, he was older than me. Um, those beliefs are built around fear and understanding, maybe reflective or reflection of something that you may have experienced, maybe. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, the Islams, the Muslim. In those situations, they found that they were just getting worked up because they would like have these usual theological debates, the religious debates. Um, I'm gonna sit down actually because I am struggling to stay standing. Um, so they were telling me about that, and I told them, oftentimes what happens in situations where we're having conversations about something that falls into the category of like a core belief, people aren't really trying to listen. They have a belief that is so like central to their personality that they have a lot riding on it, to the point where if you don't believe it, something is wrong with you, and it is their job to show you that you're wrong because they know something that you don't. They know more than you in their mind. And because you don't understand something so basic, because you've been presented with the same information as them, that now it is their job to correct you and to fix you because you're the broken one. And that's where core beliefs become such a problem because you're doing the opposite if you have a very strong core belief. And that's where tribalism starts to kick in. And it gets really fascinating the way people behave because of a tribal nature that we have. It's us versus them. It is me versus you. And it grows on scale. Right? I was telling him, like, from my own point of view, all of this, that, like, you start off small. Like, as people, we all start off small in our groups. We have our family members, they are our tribe. And within your own family, there's a mini tribe. It is the siblings, if you have a brother or sister, versus the parents. Then it's your whole family versus maybe your extended family or your neighborhood, your neighbors. Then it's your neighborhood versus the rest of the neighborhoods, etc., 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 etc. Well, you're not someone who's very tribal, or you might not have core beliefs that you feel that strongly about, because not everyone is stuck like this. Why is my finger broken? Okay. But this is just more on a general scope. We can't go like individualized because this is still based on just how people act generally, right? Um, at least in my opinion. Again, this is just based off my own like life observations as well as some like mild like psychology I studied back in school. So again, this is also information from over 10 years ago. But it goes bigger into city versus city, state versus state, and team versus team. The other perspective, like, what do you mean by other perspective? I'm not sure which part you're disagreeing with now, but I'll just keep going while you explain too. Um, anyway, it's all related to ego. And when you're met with someone who is or who shows animosity towards you, oftentimes they come from a place of ignorance, boredom, like they have a goal in mind, and it's up to you on whether or not you engage with that goal, with that like rhetoric, whatever it may be. Like they are simply doing something for, excuse me, they're doing it for the reason of like they want a reaction out of you potentially. Maybe. And because of this like desire for reaction, you have an option. You can choose to ignore their hostility, meet them with indifference. Hello, Will Live. Thank you for the follow. That's a funny name. Wait, Discord notice? Oh. Oh, is that you, Liv? No, it's not you. Or is it? Are you showing me your alts? No, never mind. Sorry, Will. Um, you came in a very funny time. Um, Live Love Vuva was saying that they have an alt and they did a social experiment and then you followed. So I was like, is this Liv on their alt account as well? But never mind, sorry. How are you doing, Will? How's your night been going? Do you know me? Are you a friend? Or are you a complete stranger danger? You're the OG, Will. I'm Willow. Hell yeah. I used to go by Will as well. That's also where I was like, oh, interesting. People also just call me Illy these days. They call me Illy or Willow. Or Ilwak if they're more comfortable, but I don't care. The famous Will. Oh my god, Will I am? Is that you, the Black Eyed Peas? Probably not, but I use this handle everywhere, so there's always a chance you might have seen me somewhere. Maybe. That's okay though. Always happy to meet new people. Hopefully you're having a good night. I'm just doing a yapathon because I don't know what else to do with my time, and I'm trying to keep myself very distracted. My brain be on fire, bro. All the SpongeBobs are running in my head and trying to put out fires. Yeah, right now I was just talking about a silly yap session I did on Omegle of all places. They call it You Mingle now. And on there, I was talking to an Indian gentleman who was talking about his experience with people who are trying to troll him essentially. And the shorthand of it is, I basically talked about how ego plays a big part of it, and it applied to him too, but I wasn't directly stating it at him. But just basically how, opposing religious ideas typically lead to people just banging heads against each other because people do believe initially that their side is right. They obviously were raised this way. They know better than you. And therefore, they're just trying to inform you of something that's so obvious and so basic to them. And this applies not just to religion, but to like politics, to me being trans, right? Like, because I already know I've heard all of the arguments. I have family members who are very right wing, and all of them would, if they knew, tell me about how stupid I am, how there's only one or man and women. There's nothing in between unless you have a weird condition. Maybe they'll acknowledge intersex, but even then they'll call that a genetic deformity, not a gender. And so I know all of the rhetoric, and I don't agree with it. Okay. Also, Liv, keep going with what you're doing for your social experiment. I am curious. Um, I expressed to him, just basically, it's important for us to let go of our own ego when listening to other people because we can't like meet a middle ground if we're both fighting each other, right? So when you know someone is just a bad actor, if you meet them with indifference, oftentimes they get frustrated because you're not giving them the reaction that they want. Rage baiting, literally just looking for you to get angry so that they can get a laugh from you. And so, to me, giving in to rage bait, and to everyone else, obviously, bad idea. However, if you meet a rage baiter with just a conversation, they'll usually, um, they'll usually, like, have a conversation for a little bit. Like, they might actually meet you with curiosity. And if you show them that you're not what they expect you to be. So in my case, when I show someone that I'm trans, and that I'm willing to talk about these things, and that I don't need to push my gender on you for you to treat me like a person. Like, you can use he, him pronouns if it really bothers you that much. I'm not here to change your perception of me, because your perception of me doesn't change who I am. Okay? Like, at the end of the day, I'm still me. I'm still taking hormones. You can't take that away from me, no matter how much you wish you could. Not you guys specifically, obviously, but just like as a concept. And some of them usually just default to the same thing at the end. They're like, well, as long as you're not trying to use the women's bathroom, then I don't care what you do. And it's like, technically, I don't want to use any bathroom. I'd rather go home. Public restrooms are disgusting. Doesn't matter what gender you are, they're both disgusting. At the very least, give me a private bathroom. Like, give me the one person occupancy fucking gender neutral bathroom option. Give me that. But yeah, no, I've had conversations with people who are clearly on the right, clearly very angry, clearly very much like making everything political, and they all speak the same way, where they're not listening to you. They're listening for keywords so they can throw rhetoric at you. That's my dad. My dad has argued that being a vegetarian is stupid and will cause nothing but health issues because he's read one article here or one article there that state exactly what he believes. That's all he cares about, you know? Oh, I see, Liv. No, fair enough. You don't have to go into details, but that's okay. Um, yeah, so my dad will argue that um, we as a human race did not have cancer until we started adding vegetables to our diet. That is his belief based on an article he read. I didn't read the article. You don't need to read the article. That's stupid. That is very obviously very stupid. Yeah, no, this is real. This is legitimately what a 60-year-old man believes. This is also the same 60-year-old man that when I told him that, his food was bland because he didn't season it thoroughly, he was like, no, the outside's covered in seasoning. I don't know what you mean. I went and, explained. I was like, well, if you season the meat right before you put it in the oven, he made prime rib, then yeah, it's seasoned on the outside. But this big, thick slab of meat, when you cut into it, will only have flavoring on the very outer edge. Like, obviously. Like, you don't have to go to culinary school to understand this. And he was like, well, you could just pour salt on the end, or on that rest of it, though, when you have it on your plate. I was like, yeah, you could. And that adds maybe another layer of, seasoning on the outside. But you still have whatever you cut. So the thinner it is, the less effective that is. Or the thinner that is, the more effective it is, but also too effective. And vice versa. If it's still thick, like you cut yourself off a steak-sized portion, then all the flavoring is still on the outside. So, if you don't know, which I think everyone knows, if you salt your meat, specifically beef, pork, chicken, whatever it is, if you salt it an hour to 3 hours to 24 hours in advance, it dry brines. And the salt will draw out moisture, and then the meat will reabsorb that moisture. And now the meat has seasoning throughout. Amazing. Salt is so cool. Not a hard concept. So this is the same person trying to tell me that eating vegetables causes cancer. This is the same man who's been smoking cigarettes, whose mother died of cancer, and his aunt, and his uncle. Yeah, you tell me where cancer comes from. It did come from a plant, technically, but not only a plant. But anyway, I hate debating with him. I don't bother because it's just full of, well, you need to read more. Because I'm not reading the stuff that he's reading. Cancer stored in the balls. I'm sorry that your parents are like this too, Liv. Or not Liv, fucking Will. I read Liv at the end of it, okay? Will Live. But, um... I call you Liv, but people call you Live, I assume is what you mean. Anyway, yeah, I was telling the Indian gentleman of this. He was very sweet. He listened to me, and then when, he heard a few things, he was like, you have just connected something for me. I was like, what do you mean? He's like, just part of this, just something I struggle to understand, at least the way you said it, it fits. Like it's a puzzle piece that I didn't have. Like he's very knowledgeable, so but still having a conversation, learning new perspectives and all this stuff, no matter how versed you are or how smart you are, you still can pick something up from talking to anybody. That's my belief. And yeah, no, he just interjected every now and then his excitement, and it was very sweet. And it stroked my ego, obviously. Someone telling me that, they think I'm wise. Like, oh, you think I know stuff? Thank you. Um, but no, he told me something really interesting about Hindu religion, which I didn't know about. He was like, in Hinduism, we have many gods, we have Vishnu, Varam, he listed off a bunch, Shiva, and all the obvious ones. And he was like, but there's one Shiva something or other. And specifically, it's they are a god of both genders. They are a man and a woman at the same time. They're half man, half woman. And he said that god is a deity. That is a god to show that like this existed before, like a lot of the current trans issues. Like this god has just existed for a very, very long time, and a lot of he says like the Hindu people kind of disregard them when it comes to trans people, but like he thinks trans people should be revered because like they do follow the same walk of life as that god. And I thought that was really interesting. Not the fact that I should be revered for being trans, but specifically just that, it wasn't something that was supposed to be shunned, but it is, you know? And so, because of that, it was just, back and forth. And I said, that kind of God does apply the ideals that, like, there's a bridging gap between us, between everybody, like gender aside, everything aside. It's really neat. But I don't really follow a religion. Yeah, I honestly don't know what each religion has in them. But yeah, also we can talk about other stuff too. We don't have to just keep yapping about like I guess more like pseudo-political and religious debate, but it's more like I was just sharing this because it was a nice conversation. Don't get me wrong too. I've had plenty of bad actors where they were like, someone got it or showed up and then they went, "You look like a chick." Like they said it in a way that was supposed to offend me because they perceive me as a man, and because of that perception, um, they were trying to offend me because they don't like the fact that I don't look like a man. It affects their worldview, their view of themselves, how they believe all men should be. Men should look like men, women should look like women. I've heard this talk my whole life. My mom has even recently called me like a year ago, telling me like, "Hey, also I think you should probably start gaining some weight." And I was like, "Why?" She's not wrong. I should gain weight, but I was like, "Why do you say that?" Because she hasn't seen me. She doesn't know I'm trans. She's just like, "You should gain some weight." I go, "Why?" And she goes, "Well, it's not normal for a man to be so skinny." The fuck? Listen, just because my older brother and my dad have a bit of extra dad bod to them, doesn't mean I need to, right? I want to be me. I want to look like me. I don't want to look like them. Like, please, let me just look like me. Hello, Oni Cutie. How are you doing today? But, you know, I can't change her mind. I'm not going to try to change her mind. I'm not going to push for her to understand gender stuff. I'm just going to be me, right? Because that's all I can do. And I don't know if I'll ever tell my mother or tell my father. I don't know if I trust them enough with this information to not be bigoted and rude and angry. Because oftentimes, what you'll find with parents, and this is just again my experience in listening to others' experiences, but I could be wrong. Oftentimes, when a parent hears that their child is gay, they are mostly concerned about the outside perceptions as well as their own failings. Because to them, the fact that you ended up being gay reflects negatively on them. And I don't just mean like a man loving another man, I mean a man who, or a woman who loves another woman by anything that's not hetero. Like, they don't understand it. And to them, that means they, as a parent, did something wrong. That you are wrong. That you are broken, damaged, something. Did someone touch you? Like the number of times when I tell someone I'm trans, one of the questions that comes up was like, so were you molested? And it's like, no, I was not. I'm just me. I've known for a long time that I just want to be me. My father, when he thought I was gay once, he told me, I don't care what you do, just don't make it my problem. As if me being gay at the time would have been his problem. So, I already know I can't bother with him with this information. He's already told me not to make things his problem, so me being trans is not his problem. Right? Like, that's my problem. And for me, it's not a problem. I mean, that's usually what I say too. It's like, you know, it's a pretty straightforward concept. It's you either do or you don't. Like, do you love your child? Then fucking who cares? Them being gay doesn't change shit about your, like, family. Oh, did I fuck that up? Ah, fuck, where to go? How do I do this? Damn, interacting with OBS is such a fucking nightmare. Alright, you might need a refresh on you, but I forgot to do that before. I figure why not? Yeah, no. So oftentimes people feel like, it's just because them as parents are going to get judged by other parents. Like, oh, did you hear their child is gay? Da, 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 da. Like, they know how they judge other parents, and therefore now they're afraid everyone is going to judge them for the same shit. And that's really funny to me. It's like a lot of your projection comes back. So oftentimes what you hear too is like, oh, you're trans because your father wasn't there. Like, no, he was there until I was like 12, but I knew before then. Or it's because he was gone all the time because the military. Like, it's literally nothing to do with that. It's all to do with how I feel. And that's all I care about in this situation. No, no, it's she has a sword now. Um, don't worry, I know you weren't trying to be rude, so I was just letting you know that she has a sword. Also, Oni, don't worry, it doesn't mean you have to be here all the time, but it means you can help me out if things go weird. Um, so, no, you're fine. Don't be, sorry, unless they want you to be sorry, I guess. They'll just time you out. Um, yeah, no. there's a lot of like reasonings to feel like worried about telling people things. Like my mom is the type of person where if I tell her something's wrong, oftentimes I'm not met with like love and understanding. I'm met with frustration or confusion. The idea that I'm like when I was bullied and I told her about it, her reaction wasn't love and support. It was, why didn't you tell me? And like, I'm really upset that you didn't tell me. That's all it really boiled down to. And it was so frustrating. Just the anger that she felt towards me because, you know, yeah, I don't know. I honestly don't understand it. So, the entirety of me being bullied wasn't about my experience anymore. It was about her experience with me not telling her, and how now as an adult she feels like she failed me. And it's like, you didn't fail me. You didn't do anything wrong. I failed you. And if you want to really put it some way, and maybe that's why you're mad. But I chose not to tell you because I felt like I would be a burden because I was getting bullied. Oh, back to the Indian guy for a moment. So this guy seems very like, a part of normal society as much as you can be. Like he was just on Omegle though. And he wasn't jorking it. So, he wanted conversations. Anyway, he pointed something out to me that I thought was really funny. And okay, let's see. So unrelated, but you looked at every single VR chat Twitch stream right now, and this one is the most interesting. Oh, you're so fucking sweet. I wish I believed you. I wish I believed you. I really do. I don't feel that way, but thank you. And I'm not always very interesting, and I don't always stream VR chat. So, I will be streaming Hightail soon, though. Hightail comes out, I think, tomorrow or the day after. I talk about anything. So if you guys ever have something you want to talk about, I really do love helping. So like if you guys ever want to have a conversation or something's bothering you, please, please, please just share if you're comfortable. Because to me, I love having a conversation with people. I love having a share of opinions because it does several things. Like you're not only giving me more content, right? Like as a bad streamer, but you're giving me company, whether you realize it or not. There's nothing wrong with lurking. If you can't talk in my stream and you prefer to treat this like a podcast, perfectly fine. However, I thrive on like bouncing off of people and ideas and expanding because I'm a slime. So if you ever have something you want to talk about or something interesting that happened and it's not too heavily political, like I'm a fair game. Like give it to me. So yeah. You love talking as well, especially when it's calm and not overwhelming. Let me start being XQC roleplay for you. No, 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 chat, this is crazy, chat. Look at this shit. There's a fucking slime in the screen, chat. They're fucking naked in fucking the water, chat. Hassan roleplay. Kaya plays. Like, anger, frustration. I'm so sorry that that might have gone too far. I apologize. Shocking a dog is never a right thing to do. Yeah, imagine saying that. But, back to my point. Um, what was I saying? I got lost in the XQC brain rot. No, yeah. Learning from other people is really good. And also the Indian guy mentioned that, he was, Um, like the biggest thing that ever like opened his eyes to like new ideas and new ways of understanding people. He was like, "Have you heard of this wonderful site called FetLife?" And like, mind you, he's very just like welcome. Looks like he's working an office job, but from home. He's got like a sweater on, a nice little sweater, polo underneath. Hair's very nice and tidy. Beard is very kept very well. Like, and he's just like, "Have you heard of this wonderful site called FetLife?" And he wasn't being weird about it. He was like, "I learned a lot about DOMs and subs and like how they both perceive things." I was like, "Oh, that's really interesting." And he talked about it for a little bit. And when I talked about my experience being bullied and the way that I am flawed, because he was like praising me a lot. So he was like trying to like express to me how wise he feels I am. Which again, it's a compliment, but I don't feel that way about myself. So when he's talking about this, he's like, "Yeah, you're very wise. You're far beyond me in terms of like getting close to God." And I was like, "Well, I don't feel that way. Like, I feel I'm a very flawed and broken human. Like, I practice mindfulness at most, but it's to the point where I'm self-diagnosed as like a hyper empath because to me, it just fits and it helps me regulate when I realize I'm doing something." Okay. So, like, if any of you were talking to me one on one or whatever, in chat, wherever it is, if you were ever talking to me and I felt like you were angry at me, I would justify your anger towards me. Not by doing something weird, not by trying to make you angrier. I would fully support you in being angry at me. I will look for reasons in why I'm in the wrong. I will feel like I've done something to offend you. I will feel like there's just nothing that I did that doesn't make me the wrong one in the situation. I will find your perspective, I will see your perspective, and I will try to understand exactly where you're coming from. Because in my mind, the burden on like fault lies on the one that actually understands the situation, like understands their contribution. But unfortunately, that's also like very misguided because it means that I'm assuming you don't understand why what you're doing might hurt my feelings because you don't know how I feel. I'm not telling you how I feel. I'm not showing you how I feel. I don't react in a way that lets you know that your actions might be hurting me. So my natural response to situations is basically to worry that what I'm doing makes me a burden to you. Me streaming is already hard because I feel like this right now, this situation that I have you here in, thank you for cheering. Um, the bits are very sweet. But this situation right now to me is a burden for you because each of you, the more you know about how I feel, the more I feel you feel obligated to be here. The more I feel you feel obligated to talk to me, the more I feel that you might be like feeling sorry for me and worried about me. And you might change the way you treat me because of all of this. And that's scary to me. It's terrifying to me. It's crippling. I can't park in a fucking busy street because I'm so worried about making the people behind me angry that each of them are waiting and watching me struggle and thinking, what the fuck are they doing? Because I'm projecting an image of how my father or my mother or my brother or anyone I've seen be angry in traffic is. And I'm applying that image to every single car behind me without knowing a thing about them. That's stupid. I can tell you that is stupid. I know it's stupid, but I can't help myself. So me streaming is akin to that because the more I tell you about me, the more you know me, the more you understand how afraid I am of things, the more you might feel burdened by me. I'm sorry, I'm almost gonna cry. I'm okay, by the way. Um, it's very easy for me to get emotional, to cry, to hold on to these feelings and to feel like I'm a burden. This is what my mother doesn't understand me, my dad, no one, because I don't tell them. I don't tell people how I feel generally unless I'm pretty sure it's anonymous. So, you guys in chat, as sweet as you've been, to me it's like talking to the void because to me, I assume people are not actively like listening to me. To me, like the only reason there's a number in chat is because people are lurking because they care about me. And that's not always true. Sometimes people just genuinely enjoy the vibe. And I also fear when I do this too that it scares people away because who wants to support someone who's always negative? Because it's awkward, it's difficult. You're feeling burdened. Like it feels like if you're not here, then am I going to be sad? And then it just creates this feedback loop in my head where I'm like, sorry, this is really embarrassing. I know. I know I have to accept those kinds of things because at the same time, I know I do the same thing. I'm there for people regardless of how they feel about it, right? I try to be there regardless of perception of any of these kinds of like internal debates because when I'm there for people, it's not because I feel obligated to be, it's because I choose to be. And that's the mindset I try to inflict on myself, where I try to remind myself each and every person who comes by, who chats, who lurks, whatever, people in my life who are kind to me, talk to me, friendly, those are people who are choosing to be these things. And that's their choice. That's something that's beyond my control. And that's okay. I can't argue with it. I can't change their minds, and that's your guys' mistake to make. That's my joke, sorry. Um, no, I'm okay. I appreciate it. And, no, genuinely, I do appreciate the thought. So, back to the original topic before I went on this spiral of negativity. I expressed a lot of this to the gentleman I was speaking with, right? I expressed all of this and I told him how I like internally struggle because of how I was bullying. No, no, you're okay. I appreciate you for stopping by, Will, and I hope that you get some good rest if you're going to sleep. Or I do hope that you have a good work shift. And I'm really happy that you stopped by, and I will hopefully see you again. And if not, it's perfectly okay. You can join my Discord if you haven't already, and in my Discord you can see that when I go live. I don't typically post on Twitter and stuff, but again, you're welcome to join or you're welcome to just join whenever you see me. My stream times are very variable and I'm all over the place. I'm trying to get a schedule. Blah, 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 blah. Whew. Um, yeah, no, just before you go, the last bit, this is the most important bit. He basically said, that mindset that you're describing to me, the way that you feel you are, that is the mindset of a sub. He didn't say it in a mean way, but that's like, he was like, it is someone who is submitting. It is someone who is like giving to others. Like, you're relinquishing control to other people because you're afraid and da 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 da. Like, I understand the concept and I know that it's technically true, but you know, most people use sub as a very negative term, and I don't view myself entirely as a sub, but you know, I'm very much the one in control, alright? I'm just submissive inside. Sorry, I was trying to pull the camera into my head and I completely botched it. Um, I'm very much control in the situation, but when it comes to what's going on inside of my head, I beat myself down until I am just a broken person. Anyway, take care, Will, and thank you again. I appreciate the bits and the kindness. Oops, didn't want to do that. I'm going to refresh myself and do today's Wordle. I will not say the letters out loud, but I'm going to do a few guesses just to kind of reset myself. So you'll hear me muttering like, what the fuck? But yeah, I'm okay. And I am okay. If you can't tell, talking about the things that are hurting me, talking about topics like this, I can get lost in it. And I do end up feeling, like something, I don't know, I just feel shitty. Um, so yeah, I'm I'm actively trying to be better though. I'm actively trying to put my best self forward and to um, you know, let other people do what they're going to do without it being something that I let be a burden to myself. Because ultimately that's what I'm doing. I'm burdening myself with the ideas that something's wrong, that something's happening, that someone is struggling or just put out by me. And that's stupid. Alright. Ultimately, it's kind of stupid. That's not the case. That's not my choice to make for you, right? Each of you have your own free will. Each of you have your own, like, agency. I don't need to be the one that, like, burdens themselves with all of this. So, yeah. But, yeah, I'm just. Bleh. I'm all over the place, bro. I'm a mess. What the fuck? That's so frustrating. I got 4 yellow letters on my second guess. First guess, 2 yellow letters. Second guess, 4 yellow letters. I got yesterday's word in 2 guesses. Damn, that's so fucking close. It's not even funny anymore. God damn it. Um, let's see. What could this word be? Maybe I am too, like, far gone right now to do this. Mm, I like this world too. Hello, J Salpa. How are you doing today? How is Australia treating you? Are you dying of heat stroke? Or giving yourself a little heat stroke? Sorry. Joking to cover up my brain dead right now. Um, yeah, Wispy Woo makes good worlds. I see them here and there in VR chat. They're very nice. Oh, I also enjoy all the little floating stuff. The lanterns, the wisps in the background. Maybe I should stop sitting. Maybe I should stand up. I really like also the way that it reflects off of me. You can see all like the pink and the greens all over my body. It's very pretty. Also, another beautiful thing about this world is the fact that I don't need a lighting source. I'm just alive. No worries, Liv. Enjoy the lurk. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks for reviving with me and for being kind. Um, yeah, I don't know. Have a head pat. You're such a good boy. I hope that was worth it. Anyway, for free. Uh, what word can I make with these 5 letters or 4 letters? Fuck, what could this word be? I feel like I need to give up because my brain is just isn't there. Huh. No, can't be that. Uh, oops, I clicked the wrong button. Yeah, no, maybe that's a sign I should do this later. Other side note, I saw something topical earlier. I saw a fucking post where it was, it was Lazzy on the front page, shirtless, and it was quite a sight. It was quite a sight. I hope you feel better, Liv. Thank you for coming today. Yeah, Lazzy being topless was not on my start of the year bingo card. Not just topless, but in his underwear. I mean, kudos to him. That's a very brave thing to do. But if I knew that I was going to be on the front page, I would probably wear a shirt and pants. But people try to make it into something weird, I guess, or something. I don't know. They deleted the tweet, though, whoever it was. Very curious as to what all that was about. But, you know, it just is what it is. Oh, thank you for the follow on Kick there, Epic Freddy. I hope you're having a lovely night. I forgot that I'm streaming. Um, yeah. I need to set up commands and stuff in Kick too for like my Discord when I go live and whatnot. Um, oh well, not really that important. I'll just keep yapping like normal anyway. And I'll just go live like I normally do. I don't have a set schedule, so it's kind of just all over the place. Yeah. I honestly just surprised that people hang out with me sometimes. And sorry, self-deprecation's kind of kicking in again. I really do struggle with this shit. Like the idea of, I don't know, people liking me at all. It just in my head doesn't make sense. And I'm sorry that that's probably annoying to listen to. So that's why I try not to do it too much. Um, yeah, I don't know what this word is. I'm stuck. I'm actually stuck right now. How do you get 4 letters that are yellow and have no idea what the word could be? How the fuck do you end up in this situation? Hmm. It can't start with that or that, and those are the 2 letters I would have assumed it was. I feel like those are the letters that have to be at the end. So the first 5 letters are the problem, or the first letter is the problem. This shit sucks, guys. I'm too stupid for this today. I am too stupid to do Wordle. Oh well, it's not that important to get it right, I guess. As much as I want to. Um, is there any other combinations I haven't tried yet? Oh, there is one more. There's one more. There's one more. Oh shit, it could be one or the other. Oh no, it's a 50-50. Oh, this sucks. I'm either gonna get it from 4 or 3, and I really want to get it in 3. Let's go with the more. Let's go! 3 guesses. I'm happy. Fuck you. We need to hang out more. You're not wrong. I do need to hang out with everyone more. I'm currently in this, like, slump of. I don't know. I just kind of exist by myself because I feel like, for one, I don't like VR chat that much. I do, but I don't. I like talking to new people, but at the same time, I get bored. I like the idea of VR chat, but I get bored, so I play desktop. And then people are like, oh, but it's so much better to be in VR with people. You can interact and stuff. But it's like, I can play other games. I want to play games. I want to do something. I can't just sit here. I can't just sit here and like just be with people. I need my ADHD stim, you know? I need to be stimming. I need to be playing games or the conversation has to be active. It can't just be like chaos because I can't focus in chaos. I really can't. So, I don't know. Sorry, I was checking DMs and then my brain went co-op VR Dark Souls. That sounds like hell. How do you even do co-op VR Dark Souls? Is that a thing? Is there like a game world in VR chat that fits that, or is there another one? I don't do VR very often. I just kind of sit here and talk as much as I can while I'm doing something boring like planting crops or managing a farm or, you know, I'm just here. Yeah, perhaps I'll come by and look. Perhaps, perhaps. I don't know. I'm all over the place. I am just existing. So, what's going on with you guys? What's new with everybody else? Who here is doing good, bad, the ugly? What is it going on for you? I'm looking and thinking, yeah. Also, I guess, how do you guys feel about like the lack of music and stuff? Um, yeah, sorry, I'm distracted. I'm being stupid. I'm just checking, like, I don't do well with notifications. The moment I see a notification, I immediately get distracted. And then I lose all train of thought. Oh, happy birthday to Hershey. Tell them I said hi and happy birthday. I'll try to stop by later if they're still alive. I also don't know if I'm going to stop streaming or not, or when I'm going to. But yeah, what do you think? Is no music weird? Because my hope is if I'm not listening to music, or at least I'm not playing music, then you guys, um, yeah, you guys don't have to like mute whatever it is you're listening to. You can listen to whatever you want. And I can listen to my sad, boring shit on a loop until I cry. Not actually, but I do feel like it. It's very tempting. Mm. Are they drunk? Have they been drinking? Yeah, I need to figure out what I'm gonna do for my birthday. Don't worry, guys. I'm doing a birthday subathon. I will definitely do well on a birthday subathon. All of the rich people will come by and pay money, and I will do a Fansly stream if we hit the goal of 5 subs. No, I'm kidding. All jokes, but listen, I have shown my tits for less. Well, actually, no, I've never done it for money. Yeah, right now I'm just kind of a mixed bag of emotions, very up and down. Let's see. Other things that were kind of fun about doing Omegle, I guess. Doing voices for people like I do in VR, same thing, but IRL, it's different, you know, if you're using your face, because then they actually see what you look like, and it's even more jarring. Doing it in VR, it's easy to be jarring because, like, oh, this is a super feminine avatar. And then you talk like this, and then they're like, hey, yo, what the fuck? You know, it's like, it's much more jarring in VR, obviously, for easier reasons. IRL, people are like, huh, I don't know what your gender is, so I don't know what to expect. So it's much more interesting. And then I speak and they go, oh, you're a dude. And I just go, you can call me that if you prefer. I'm trans, but no biggie. And I know lots of girlies are gonna be like, you shouldn't just like give in to their like weird shit. And I'm like, nah, I'm not gonna change their mind. They're going to call me a dude no matter what. Regardless of whether or not I am, um, yeah, I don't know. Neither, I don't know. There's just no, like, there's just no point in arguing with people who have hatred. That's how I feel. Meet them with indifference, show them that they're wrong, and oftentimes they're not going to change their worldview, but at least they'll be polite if they see you ever again. Just is what it is. It just is what it is. To be honest, I've had some very, I don't know, not very good thoughts when it comes to like my online presence where I'm like, you know what? Maybe I should just like nuke it, nuke everything. And it's like, and by nuke everything, I mean like delete uh my Twitch page and start a new one, or just kick everyone out of my Discord and start over. Like, these kinds of thoughts aren't very healthy. And it comes from a very negative place. So it's like I'm trying to keep those kinds of negative feelings and thoughts out. And that's the hard part. That's where I'm just like trying to navigate myself, keep myself balanced, and realize that like it won't make me happy. Like, that's just how it is. It just won't make me happy. And I know that. And the reason I'm sad isn't because these things exist the way that they do. I don't feel sad because, like, my channel has died since I used to do roleplay, right? Like, that part's not what makes me sad. It's more like the number does keep me, like, in mind of, like, huh, I can see people judging me already. And that's just, like, stupid. It's so stupid. But I'm like, huh. I used to listen to people who get judged like this all the time where they're like, man, those followers must be bots. And I'm just like, no, there used to be people here. I only had like one or two people say it to me, but it lived in my head rent free, and that means they've succeeded. So congratulations to them. But yeah, it just seems silly, but numbers are weird. And the best thing you can do as a streamer is not worry about numbers, right? Right. I don't know. So again, does the lack of music make this stream like more bearable or less bearable? That's what I need to know. Like, I would love feedback on just that one detail. Like, is it a noticeable issue or is it actually like chill without the music? Mm. I don't know. I don't know. I guess just keeping on the topic of like different cultural, like not cultural, but like different social spaces. One thing that I thought was really interesting is like there's definitely a strange social space around Omegle, like the Umingle. Other than the weirdos doing their business, I'm talking about people who like form Discord servers around this where they're like, yeah, it's a chill place, and like you very quickly kind of see similarities of all different kinds of like social circles, regardless of the medium. So their social circle started around Omegle, and like they created a safe space, and like it's like people in VR chat try to say the same thing, and whenever someone tells me though that like this is a safe space for women, we protect them and stuff, I'm immediately like, oh, this isn't gonna go well. That's not a, I don't know. I feel like that doesn't need to be advertised. I feel like if you're advertising it, it means there's something that could go wrong. Personal experience. I've heard people say the same thing. I find it very interesting though. I find people's like, they obviously want women to join. That's what it comes back to. Um, what else was there about it though? What I usually find, especially with content creators of any kind, or even if they're not creating content, but there's always like a main character syndrome, meaning someone is always the leader, and the leader is always the loudest person in the room, and always pushing, and always like talking over everyone and always trying to like force rules and stuff. And it's just like, it doesn't make for a very fun environment in my mind. I've never enjoyed being around people who are very main character. I myself am not a main character, I'm a supporting role. But I suppose some people need that in their life. Some people need a main character along to kind of keep things moving, to keep change coming, to make things interesting. Because, like, without a main character, what do you have? You have a bunch of people who don't know what to do with themselves because all of them are waiting for their main character to tell them what to do. Personally, I don't do that. I just talk to new people. But some people feel it's like the only way. And I find that to be very interesting. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what needs to be done with those kinds of things. I just kind of keep my distance. I watch from afar. And sometimes it's just entertainment when nothing else is happening. And sometimes it's the worst cringe you've ever experienced. Like an e-boy trying to coerce an e-girl into a private call where the flirting is strong. But you know, that's just my own bias speaking. Well, I have no idea if people would prefer music or not. I just know people are lurking for me, and that's nice enough as it is. And make the lurk easier, I hope. Hopefully that the lack of music means that you guys can kind of vibe out and still hear me if you'd like to. But if you can't hear me, and that's okay. I'm just here, you know? I'm just existing. Life is just happening. I never learned the proper VR chatisms. I don't know, like, everything when it comes to being, like, cutesy for the camera and stuff. I've always just kind of sat around, given head pats, and then, you know, yeah. My main goal is to be a piece of conversation for someone, something that they can talk to, you know? I am not an existence outside of just talking to you. Oni, what are your thoughts on a stream without music? Are you alive in the chat still or not? I saw you type for a moment. Give me your feedback. Oops, I joined a call. Lol. I joined a Discord call because I was trying to open the chat because I was trying to find something.